Hey everybody, it's Mr. H. Just putting together a quick video to talk a little bit about how to submit your assignments. I'm getting a lot of questions about how to actually attach images, and I just wanted to go through them with you. Unfortunately, this is not going to be a video that just solves all of your problems, because what you're going to find is that there are different ways of doing this. When I say that there could easily be 10 or 15 different ways to turn something in online, I am not exaggerating. There's a lot of different ways to turn this in, so I'm going to try to make this as general as possible. So, if you go to itsLearning, I'm going to flip this over to Student View. Alright, so if you look here on Student View, you will see your Week 3, and I'm just going to go to your warm-ups. You click Assignments, it takes you to where you do your warm-ups. But once you're complete, you would come back and click Answer Assignment here. And your instructions here when you click Answer Assignment are simply to type complete and turn that in, because you're actually doing your work outside of this. But I'm going to use this as an illustration just to kind of point out all the different things that you can do. So let's say that your instructions on this assignment were to attach an image. It could be to attach an image, it could be to attach a file, PDF, whatever. What you need to realize is that on itsLearning and a lot of other learning platforms, you have a lot of different options that you can choose when you go to submit something. I'm going to click Hide right here, because this is the way it shows up standard. This is what you should be seeing if you've never clicked More Options. When you click More Options, you've got all these different things. Some of that's just like formatting your text. You can create a table, stuff like that. But there's other stuff here as well. So for example here, you can click Image. And now it says, basically it wants me to pick an image. Well, this is a photo that I already had in here of a slide that I made. Well, look, you can upload and insert an image right here. It tells you to choose file, and there's all this different stuff that pops up. Well, these are all the files on the computer. So literally anything that's on your computer, you could upload right now. So I would just select this button that I made, click Upload and Insert, and boom, it's right there. So you can create images that way, and insert them that way. Right here where it says Embed, you can click that. This is where you could insert like a video or something. Or if you had a direct link to like a Google Slides presentation or something, you could add that for the URL, and you would just paste whatever the URL is, and it's embed, because this little box is going to have the video or the slideshow or whatever that you put, and now it's going to show up here. So you could do that. Here is where you can add a link, URL again. Or you could just copy and paste a link in. Or you can come down here where it says Add Files, click that, and it gives you the option to pick from your computer, much like it did earlier when I clicked Image up here. It also lets you click OneDrive if you've got stuff on your Microsoft OneDrive. It also lets you pick items from your Google Drive if you have things saved there. So you could put like a slideshow in, or Google Docs or something like that. As of now, I don't think they fixed the error. So like if you click something from Google Drive, it just automatically turns it into the Microsoft equivalent. So like if you put a slideshow in there, it'll automatically turn it into a PowerPoint. But the part that I think a lot of us are getting kind of mixed up on is, how do I even get the file to add it in the first place? And so I'm going to just go over to Delta Math and pretend like I'm trying to submit Delta Math. So we'll go to deltamath.com. I'm going to log in. And on your end, when you actually complete questions, you would see basically a menu that kind of looks like this, only it would be your assignments and your scores. Let's say I want to turn this in. Well, instead of typing all this out, I can take a screenshot. And the way you do that depends on the device. So on a PC, like what I'm using right now, I actually have a gaming keyboard. So up at the top, they have a lot of the commands written out on the keys. So I literally have a button that says print screen. Okay? So if you have a laptop with a keyboard, a lot of times they have print screen abbreviated. So it'll be up towards the top right key, and it'll say like PRTSCR. On a Chromebook, there's a button like right in the top middle-ish. It looks like a square with like some lines around it. That also is a screenshot. That's the same thing as print screen. When I hit print screen, I just clicked it. Notice nothing happened. And it's easy to think that something went wrong, but actually nothing went wrong. It just copied literally what I have right here. And what you would then do with that is you can paste that image over to something to then submit. So I want to be clear. Whenever I hit print screen, it took this entire screen and copied it as like a picture onto my clipboard. So I'm going to come over to itsLearning really quick and just show you, like, I have that image copied, but basically there's no way for me to put it in here right now. In some areas of itsLearning, you might be able to like paste something onto it, but right here when you're turning it in, you can't. So we got to get around that. So how do I take something I just made a copy of and paste it? Easiest way I think is to go into Google Slides. So I'm going to go to Google Slides right now. I'm just going to make a new presentation. Once you are in Google Slides, remember I told you it copied, so I'm going to do Control V on my keyboard. Depending on what you're using, you could right click, paste comes up. Control V is the hot key for it. If you're on a Mac, it's Command something. I forget exactly. If you're on a phone or something, you'd have to like hard press the screen or whatever until the option to paste comes up. But anyway, you paste it, and this is what happens. Now I have 3 screens actually, so that's why you see all this. That's one of my screens. This is what we took the picture of, and this is my other screen. Well, here's the thing. I don't want all of that. If I just had one screen, it would have gave me what's in the middle, but I really don't want all of that either. So up here on this little toolbar in Slides, it gives you the option to crop the image, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to click Crop Image, and now you just drag the sides until you get exactly what you want. Be careful, because sometimes you'll accidentally grab like the side of the picture, and if you do, it'll like move the picture instead of cropping it, and it makes it look all distorted. So if you mess up and do something like this, don't freak out. Just go click undo. I'm going to come over here, grab this to crop it. Come all the way to here. I'm going to grab the top. I'm going to grab the bottom. So now I've zeroed in on the one little piece that I want. I hit enter, and it gets rid of everything else. So now I'm just going to move this up here to the top of the screen, grab the bottom corner, and pull. And now I've got this on a slide. Why is that important? A number of reasons. One, you could link this slide now. Like literally, you could come up to this top corner and share it. Click share. Oh, I need to name it first. Tests. So you can literally click share. Be careful, because when you share it, if it's restricted, I won't be able to see it. So you'll have to change this so that anyone can see it. But anyway, once you get that set, you just click copy link. And that is the link that you could paste to turn in. That is the link that you could embed, like I showed you earlier. So I'm going to copy the link real quick. Go back to itsLearning. I just want to show you, when you embed, I paste that link. Well, there's our document. Insert. You won't be able to see it, but whenever you turned it in, I would be able to see it. Now, maybe you don't want to turn in a link, though. Again, this is what I'm telling you. There's tons of options. Maybe you don't want to turn in a link. This is actually a really cool option. You can download this slide as a bunch of different types of files. So basically, if you go out to File, you can now go to Download, and you can download it as a PowerPoint, an ODP. I honestly don't know what that is. You can download it as a PDF, though. That could definitely be handy. Actually, I know because somebody turned in a PDF. That is actually by far the easiest for me to view. You could turn in a PDF, or you can come down here to JPEG or PNG, and you can download them as images. So like literally, you could download it as a PDF. It's going to stick it. You see it down here on the bar. It's going to put it in your downloads on the computer. And then you go back to itsLearning. Now notice where it says add files or simply drop it here. Since I've still got this hanging out right here, I can just drag it over there. And boom, it adds it. If you don't see it there, or if it has disappeared from your bar, or if you don't have the bar popping up, click add files, pick your computer, and notice downloads is selected, and right here at the top is that same file. And there it is. And if I click that to open that, look, and honestly, like it's a little distorted, which is unfortunate. That's what happens when you blow a picture up that big. But I could still see it, like you could still get that turned in that way. And again, that's just one of several ways that you can do it. if you're worried about the image being distorted, or like if it just gets to be too big and when you try to share it, it is distorted, well then don't turn in an image. Don't turn in a PDF. Just give me the link to it really quick so that I can open it and look at it. But if you're going to give me a link, just make sure that you share it so that I can actually see it. And just as like a final little thought here before I get off, and honestly, this is probably what I'm going to encourage everybody to do. This is what I would do. Let's say this is my score for lesson 1. I'm going to come on this slideshow and I'm going to do this. Lesson 1, here's my score. All right, let's duplicate this slide. Right click, duplicate. Now I'm on a new slide. All right, cool. Here's lesson 2. I'm going to put my score. Lesson 3 and so on. And what you can do is you could just keep sharing the same link with me. And you could just paste new pictures in here. And what I would ask you to do then is, like, if lesson 2 is what you're turning in, just drag it to the top. So that's the first thing I see. Boom. And that way you've got a history of everything you've turned into me. You've got a history of your scores. If something crazy happened and we lost a grade somehow, you'd have proof of it. All right, so just some food for thought. These are not the only ways to do it. If you're on a phone or something, you can take a picture and then like email it to yourself and download that onto a computer. Every way I just showed you with attaching, it works the same with emails. You just gotta kind of play around and find something that works for you. If nothing else, though, get used to using Google Slides because it's free for everybody. And as far as I can tell, it's a big help for everybody that learns how to use it. Hope you find this helpful. Everybody take care and let me know if you